ni, kero umay e koutou. A mga tangata kay Maori, yo koutou, hei kōrero. Ladies and gentlemen, I will speak in English, just so that you will understand what I have said. I have said greetings, greetings, greetings to the host people of this country. Thank you very much for being so kind to our Prime Minister, who has honoured us today by being present at the opening of this Pakiaka that was called a sign and a symbol of communication between you, the people of this country, and between the people of New Zealand. We thank you for all the hospitality that has been extended to our delegation that has arrived from across the seas to be present to honour the opening and blessing of this room, which contains some Maori carving and decorations from the Maori world. I will stop at that and say greetings to you all. Tēnā koutou, kia ora tātou katoa.
Tēnā mana, tēnā mana, tēnā reo, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. May I greet the voice that called us and the orator who beckoned us unto this place. To the house that stands here, may it remain entrenched in the country which sustains it. May I greet those ancestors from both countries who have passed before us and whose traditions we lay claim to in our respective cultures. May I greet the people who live here now, the people who have gathered here for the opening of this house, those who have travelled thousands of miles to be here, and those who are of the local community. May I greet you, Rewi. It is an enormous honour for New Zealand that you are able to attend on this occasion. May I greet all those people from throughout New Zealand who represent all the four winds of the Maori world and who are giving something of themselves to this place, their traditions and their culture. 18 months ago, during my first visit overseas as Prime Minister of New Zealand, I was privileged to attend in the Metropolitan Museum in New York the exhibition Te Maori. This was a unique collection. The Maori people of New Zealand decided to take one last gesture of trust with respect to their cultural heritage, and they assembled priceless exhibits. Exhibits which had been held in the stewardship of the people for many years, and after much consultation, they put them together and they arranged for them to go to the United States, where in the Metropolitan, a museum which houses, again, priceless art from around the world, including China, they were able to show in that place some of the majesty of that inheritance which even Pakiaka New Zealanders can lay claim to. And there in the early morning, in the Metropolitan Museum forecourt, the traditional rituals were observed, and the United States became aware that New Zealand was an ancient country with a people with a distinctive tradition and culture. And then in 1984, a delegation came to China, and Hiwi and Toroa formed the idea that it was not proper for New Zealand to be represented abroad in a place which did not carry with it some significant flavour of the country and did not contain some treasure speaking of our heritage. And then followed a most extraordinary development. All sorts of people who reflected the cooperative communal nature of Maori society, they got together. Timber was given. Carvers were commissioned. The elders were consulted as to what representation should be formed in this modern way of a traditional representation. And the tupuna that you see here represented today gradually came to be formed. There was some assistance from the government, but it was little. And the basic impulse for it all came from the drive of the Maori people themselves, with some very significant commercial sponsorship. And I want to say that that is a reflection of the renaissance which is occurring in New Zealand right now, of a people jealous to guard their traditions, to preserve their language and to expand their horizons. And we are in government trying to catch up. To a certain extent we have. In the headquarters of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Wellington, there now is a room. It's the only marae I know, about 7 stories up in the air. But it's an attempt. It's a sign that we are given to a bicultural future in New Zealand. And now in this country, we are able to set forth something of our heritage right here in Beijing. So could I pay my tribute to those people who have worked sacrificially. To the people, if you could only see now where they came from all around New Zealand, in the carving schools, under the guidance of master carvers, those people who did the tuki-tuki paneling, under the guidance of people who are experienced and who put it all together. And I want to thank you for once again venturing to show something of your heritage to the world. And it's probably a bold step, you know. There is a school of anthropological thought, it's a distinctively Chinese school, which says that in the south of China there is evidence that there is in fact the origin of the peoples whom we call Maori. Now there's a Maori school which says that the Maori traditions grew up in New Zealand and probably they were closer to home. Well, if the first school is right, it's marvellous that we've brought it back. And if the second school is right, it's good that we've exported it here for the first time. So we're on a winner both ways, and I'm glad of that. But to those of you who made it, who have worked, who have come over here at great expense, who have said something about New Zealand-Chinese relations, and are able to say to China something about the nature of our society, thank you for all your work. Thank you to the embassy for making the arrangements. Most of all, thank you to a people whose traditions are now there for all to see. And I can assure you that it has been a most moving occasion for me, in this place, in these quite extraordinary circumstances, to pay my tribute, my respects to their tradition and legacy, to all those people who have handed it down over the years, and to know that there is within the Maori world of New Zealand a commitment to keeping that flame of tradition alive and better. And I want to assure you that there is something of an emerging nationhood coming in New Zealand. One of the things that we're very proud of lately, Rewi, you might never see New Zealand again. I don't know whether you will or not, but I want you to know that what you are seeing here is a sign of a whole new society being forged in the country of your birth. And I'm very proud of that.